Hey guys, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a good day. I'm here to talk to you today on Wednesday, August 10th. We are now 5 days out from Kiely Rodni being missing. She's still out there. She still needs our help. There's been no sign of her or her car. I'm just going to update you today. There was a presser yesterday. Not a whole lot came out that was really new, but it was interesting. And I'm going to update you on just little tidbits of information that came out last night, through the day today. Sammy did an interview on another YouTube channel last night, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Mostly we're just going to talk about this case. We're going to try to keep getting the word out there, and hopefully somebody can provide an answer on what might have happened to this 16-year-old girl. So let's switch over here to the screen, and there's the missing poster again. Like I said, her and her car are both still missing. If you remember, she is 16 years old, blonde hair, hazel eyes, about 5'7", 118 pounds. She has a tattoo of the number 17 on her ribs. She has a nose piercing and other piercings. Her car is a 2013 Honda CR-V. It's silver. Somebody knows something, guys. Somebody saw something. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what's happened. And then at the end, we'll kind of discuss just some little oddities and maybe do a little bit of speculating, even though I don't really like to do that. But when you don't have much information, there's not much else you can do, right? So yesterday's presser, like I said, it wasn't a whole lot of new information, kind of a big nothing burger with all the agencies up there thanking each other, patting each other on the back. I mean, they kind of did give us a breakdown of how they're involved, what they've been doing. Scott Alford, a Placer County Sheriff's detective, said the last time that Kiely's phone was on was at 12:33 a.m. on Saturday. Now, that stuck out to me because if you remember, Sammy said that Kiely called her at 12:36. And, you know, she really likes to drive home that point that she was the last person that talked to her, and it was at 12:36. Well, the sheriff's office will not confirm that she was the last person to talk to her, and now they're saying 12:33 was the last time that her phone was on, and after 12:33 it was shut off, which means she couldn't have called at 12:36. Now, maybe Sammy got the time wrong. I mean, anything's possible, but that was just something that kind of caught my ear. He asked teens again from the party to come forward with information from that night. He said, quote, "If you think you have info and you don't think it's relevant, we want it." So just because you think what you know from that night isn't important or doesn't apply to what's going on, you don't know. The cops still want to hear your account of what you were doing, who you saw. Just, they really need a clearer picture of what was going on at this massive party in the woods. They said that the sheriff's office is working through about 200 tips. And then there's been a lot of question about why wasn't an Amber Alert issued for her. And they went through and clarified why. They said that an Amber Alert has not been issued. According to the California Highway Patrol, there are 4 criteria that all need to be met for an Amber Alert to be issued. And those are, number 1, confirmation that an abduction has occurred. The victim is 17 or younger, or has a proven mental or physical disability. 3, the victim is in imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury. And the fourth is info is available that, if given to the public, could help the recovery. So California Highway Patrol out of Truckee says that 3 of the 4 criteria are currently met in the case, but the only criteria they need to be fulfilled is confirmation that an abduction occurred. And they don't feel that there's proof that an abduction did indeed happen. So that's what they're waiting for before they can issue the Amber Alert. And the Placer County Sheriff's Office explained that they're treating this investigation as an abduction for investigative purposes. That allows them to use detectives and other resources in trying to find her. But at this time, the department does not have evidence that indicates an abduction has taken place. So basically, they're saying they're running it as an abduction just to access the resources, because they don't have the resources that they would be given through an Amber Alert, but they're using all other available resources, and apparently it's a lot, by saying we're investigating this as a possible abduction. So kind of clarified that. They said there are 16 agencies now part of the investigation, including the FBI and Homeland Security. There were more than 100 volunteers helping with search efforts, along with 50 FBI agents who are focusing on priority leads, 150 law enforcement officers, including the FBI, search and rescue, and canines are all out there searching for Kiely. Detectives located a surveillance video from a local business in Truckee where Kiely was spotted on August 5th at 6:08 p.m. So let's take a look at this. This was probably the biggest thing that came out yesterday. There we go. So they didn't name the business, but they said it was at 6:08 on Friday, the 5th, which was right before the party. You can see the outfit that she was wearing is pretty much exactly what they described. They said it's a black spaghetti strap bodysuit, the green Dickies brand pants, a black grommet belt, and black Vans shoes. So now we have a good idea of what she was wearing. We can see she had her hair down. Can't really see a lot about the jewelry, but they did say she was wearing jewelry. But yeah, like I said, this was probably one of the biggest things that I saw yesterday, was that they finally tracked her down on a surveillance camera at 6. She allegedly arrived at the party around 10. So, you know, this was just a matter of hours before she was gone. So we know Kiely was last seen at a party early Saturday morning, about 12:30 a.m. is roughly the last time that she can be accounted for. It was near the Prosser family campground at an area that the local young people call the Sanctuary. It is 17 miles north of Lake Tahoe and 36 miles from Reno, Nevada. It's approximately 12 miles from the Lost Trail Lodge in Truckee. That's the place that her parents run and where they live. So she was only about 12 miles from home. A local from the area described the area as having cliffs and ravines on all the surrounding roads: Highway 80 leading into and out of Truckee, Highway 89, Old 40 that goes up above Donner Lake. It's likely that she could have taken Alder Creek Road, which is very curvy and has drop-offs. At night, it is pitch black and very easy to get disoriented, even when you know the area. So that's scary to think about. They also said that there is a live cam at Donner Summit, which is about 15 miles from Truckee. I don't know if that would have been anywhere that she would have passed by, but at least that's something that law enforcement can look into to see if her car was seen on that camera. From what it sounds like, there's not a lot of cameras out in the area where the party was at, but I'm sure on the surrounding roads there have to be. And like I said, I did find mention that there was this one at Donner Summit, so maybe something will show up there. Kylie's mom said that she woke up, and when she found out that Kiely wasn't home and her car wasn't in the driveway, the panic started to set in. She called her, she sent her text, and Kiely didn't respond, and then she said she immediately knew something was wrong. She doesn't believe that her daughter ran away because all of her clothes and belongings are still at home. And she said, quote, "It was already so out of character for her to not call or text back." And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. I'll say it in every one of these cases. Gotta trust the family. Gotta trust the family. They know her best. It sounds like her and her mom were pretty close when she told her mom that she was going to be coming home. Her mom told her to wake her up when she got there. That was kind of their thing that they did. When Kiely would be out, she would always come and wake up her mom and let her know she made it home. If the mom doesn't think that this girl had the potential to run away, then I believe her. I mean, we have to trust the family on this. If they think something is wrong with the situation, if they don't think she left on her own, then we have to trust that. We don't have any choice because they know her best. And a mom's instinct is really good. Your mother's intuition it's strong. So I believe the mom when she says that this is not a runaway situation. So Sammy did an interview on, let me get this right, All American Dream Chaser, which is a YouTube channel. Now yesterday at the presser, Sammy was front and center as always. She got up there and talked before even law enforcement got up there and talked. And, you know, she was her normal, I'm in charge, I'm in touch with the detectives, I'm in touch with law enforcement, I'm in touch with the FBI, and if you have leads, you know, they need to go through me kind of thing. And now I will give this girl props because the teen to teen meetup that she set up, you know, she was making a point of emphasizing that there wouldn't be adults there, no police, things like that. She's trying to open a line of communication where these teenagers that were at this party, underage drinking, doing drugs, will feel comfortable talking to a peer. And that's great. And I really hope it works. I mean, that may be what it takes to get the information, but who is doing the interviews? That's my main question. We don't have adults there. You know, has somebody trained these teens to talk to these other teens? Like, I don't know, that it's weird, but I mean, I'm glad that she's spearheading that, trying to get the information from these people. But I don't think I have ever seen a presser quite like that. I don't think I've seen an investigation handled quite like this, where law enforcement, she is adamant that we know that she's the last one that saw Kiely, that she's the last one that talked to Kiely. Adamant, like, ram it down our throats. We get it, Sammy, you know, but why would law enforcement want her out there front and center in front of everybody? And I mean, this girl is on the news. She's on YouTube. She is everywhere. If anybody wants to talk to her, she will talk to you. She has put her personal cell phone number out there for people to call with tips. I think she's the one that's running the website, FindKiely.com. I know she's running a lot of the socials. I mean, she's right in the middle of the whole thing. And, you know, she's wanting to vet these tips and pass them along, which it just seems weird to me. Like, why do you want the last known person to have seen this missing girl out there in front of everybody all the time. And why would you want tips going to this person? And, you know, to be fair, again, she's 18 years old. I mean, why would you put that responsibility on an 18-year-old to be handling this kind of information and deciding what tips need to be forwarded on to law enforcement and things like that? It's very strange. And I know one of the first things that we learned in criminal justice, you know, was about people inserting themselves into investigations. And I'm not saying 100% that's what's going on here. I mean, maybe this is just her personality. Maybe she likes to be the center of attention. I don't know, but she's enjoying her time in the spotlight. I'll put it that way. She smiles a lot. She really seems to enjoy talking to everybody. She wants, I don't know, she wants to know everything. And it's just weird. Like, I get it that your friend is missing and you want to help find her. I completely understand that and I applaud it. She has said they are close friends, but the other girl that I mentioned yesterday, Magdalene, apparently they were best friends. And I've only seen her on TV a couple of times, and it's very quick. Sammy's out there like she is, you know, in cases when the family doesn't necessarily want to talk to the press and they kind of have a person, their go-to person that represents the family. Sammy has kind of taken on that role. The mom has talked a few times, but it's mostly, you know, just heartfelt, heartbreaking pleas of, you know, bring my daughter back. She has talked about the last conversation and things like that. But Sammy is everywhere all the time. If you look up Kiely Rodni missing and the articles come up, I guarantee you Sammy's going to be in there somewhere. Guarantee it. So she was front and center at the press conference. And then the mom did not speak at the press conference. Sammy talked, law enforcement talked. There was a counselor there. And then when everybody wrapped up, Sammy goes back up to the mic again. And she starts talking, and then the feed just cuts out. I guess everybody was like, we don't need to hear from this girl anymore. And the feed just cut off. So I don't know the entirety of what she said at the end, but she was back up there. And then, like I said, yesterday evening, she went on and she did this interview with this YouTuber. And this is what we got from the interview. So Sammy said that Kiely had been hanging out with Magdalene in the hours before the party, and that Magdalene and Kiely showed up to the party together, but they hadn't really planned on staying at the party together because Magdalene met up with her boyfriend and she left pretty shortly after. I want to say like 10 to 30 minutes tops. They were at the party and then she left with her boyfriend. So Kiely and Magdalene came together, but weren't planning to stay together at the party because Magdalene was going to meet up with her boyfriend and they were going to go do whatever. So shortly after Kiely got there, Sammy saw her and, you know, they said hi and I guess they started hanging out. She said, at 10 to 10:30, the party, and now I'm going to quote Sammy, blew up to the point that I was getting overwhelmed. I'm a very social person. I've been to a lot of these parties and never been overwhelmed. I've actually been underwhelmed. This party was very large. Biggest party we've had in Truckee all year. Okay, so this is another point that to me is important because her story, it changes. a lot. Back and forth, depending on what article you read or what interview you're watching her do. Sometimes she's overwhelmed. I heard her say in one interview, it was scary. She was scared because the number of people there, the people they didn't know, the age of the people, some of the guys that were there, the age, you know, that it was scary. Here she's saying she was overwhelmed. But then in another interview, she'll say, you know, yeah, there was a lot of people there, and there were people there that we didn't know, but it's a vacation town, so I figured they were just there to party and whatever, and I didn't really think much of it. And then she'll say in another interview, I had a bad feeling, I got bad vibes. And on one hand, in one interview, she'll say that and sound like she had a bad feeling, a gut feeling that something was wrong. And then in another one, she'll say, yeah, I kind of had a gut feeling like something was wrong, but I didn't really think much of it. And she'll say, yeah, I didn't really think much. I mean, nobody there seemed, you know, really unusual, or I didn't think anybody was super old to be there and that kind of thing. So just little inconsistencies on the details, you know, like, were there people there that were making you uncomfortable? Were there people there that were older than you thought they should have been? Did you have a bad feeling? Were you scared? Or did you think it was no big deal? I mean, how were you feeling, Sammy? That's all we want to know. So then she goes on and says that she and Kiely were taking shots, sharing drinks. Everything she drank, I drank out of, and there was nothing that seemed off about her. But if you remember yesterday, she had said that she had talked to Kiely about getting a ride home and then changed her mind when she noticed that she was really intoxicated. And then in this interview, she talks about she herself, Sammy, being completely inebriated. So maybe you both got slipped something. Maybe you were too intoxicated to notice that there was something off about her. I mean, I don't know. Sammy said Kiely was having a fun time at a party, just being a teenager, rocking that single life. She said they'd go back to Kiely's car to get some alcohol sometimes. And Sammy asked Kiely for a ride. Now this, y'all, this confuses me to death. Sammy asked Kiely for a ride because her ride was leaving and she wanted to stay at the party longer. You know, the party that was so overwhelming and uncomfortable. Yeah, she wanted to stay longer. Then they went back to the party. So she's asked her to give her a ride so she can stay longer. They've arranged that. They go back to the party and they split up. Even though she says she's stuck with her all night. At this particular point, apparently not. Apparently they split apart. And the reason they split up at the party, after she asked Kiely for a ride, they split up at the party because she went to find someone else for a ride. What? You just made arrangements with your friend, give you a ride home. You went back to the party and you split off from her to go find a ride. Okay. She said Kiely's ex-boyfriend was in Napa. He was not at the party. He came back as soon as he heard that Kiely was missing. Apparently he's close with the family. There's no problems with him, the family, him, Kiely, nothing like that. She says she has been in charge and taken on the responsibility of contacting everyone from the party. And she did give us a little bit of information about the car, which I thought was actually helpful. She said there is a sticker of a bull under the back windshield wiper and that the car has a sunroof. So at least there's an identifying, besides the license plate, you could look for the bull sticker and the sunroof. She said that Kiely has an iPhone with a black case and it has a sticker on the middle of the back that says sex wax. Sammy says, here we go again. Love you, Sammy. Sammy says she made sure to find Kiely to let her know that she had found another ride home. But she says that when Kiely called her that 12:36 call, that Kiely was like, hey, where are you? And she's like, do you still need a ride? And Sammy's like, no, I'm good. I'm getting a ride with somebody else, you know, whatever. So Sammy said, and I think I'm right on this, but don't quote me, that at 12:25 at the party in person, her and Kiely said their goodbyes. So I assume at 12:25 is when she told her that she got a ride with somebody else. And then 11 minutes later, Kiely called her to say, hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride? Something's just, I don't know, it doesn't add up. It's not checking for me here. But that's pretty much it from yesterday. Today there's going to be another presser at 2. I can't wait because I want to see if Sammy jumps up in the middle of it again. And Washoe County released a statement about what they've been doing out there, which was pretty cool. I hope I'm saying that right. I know yesterday I was saying Placer County, and apparently it's Placer County. I'm from Oklahoma, not California. I don't know how to pronounce stuff out there, so I apologize if anybody was offended by me saying Placer, or excuse me, Placer instead of Placer. Placer. And this is Washoe, hopefully. The Washoe County Sheriff's Office Hasty Team assisted the Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday in the search for Kiely in the area of Prosser Reservoir. The WCSO Hasty Team's dive unit worked with Placer County Sheriff's dive unit in searching for any signs of Kiely or her missing car. The team used its Outland 1000 remote ROV during the search. This piece of underwater equipment has lights, color cameras, onboard sonar, and a robot arm that can be used to grab or move objects on the floor of a body of water. So that sounds great. That sounds like that would be very useful because there is a lot of water out there, and to have that resource available to them is great. It could really come in handy in trying to bring Kiely home, or at least find her vehicle. I mean, she could be gone and her vehicle could be somewhere else. We just don't know, guys. So I guess what I would like for you guys to do, to think about, what are we thinking about Sammy? I am 100% not saying Sammy is involved in anything that may have happened with Kiely. I just think it's odd behavior. And I think it's odd behavior that law enforcement is letting her do this, unless it's one of those, let her keep talking and see if she'll slip up. I get the feeling when people try to really pin her down on their last conversation, she tends to get a little bit uncomfortable, which on one hand, I understand, you know, if you were the last person, or even if you think you were the last person to see somebody recalling that last interaction, it would be emotional. So I can kind of see that, but I just sometimes get a vibe that, does she know something that she's not putting out there yet? Like, she wants everybody to come forward and talk about what happened that night, but is there something that she herself is holding back on? Maybe there was an argument between Kiely and somebody else, or maybe, I think somebody had asked her if she noticed, like any strange guys kind of watching them or sticking close to them, following them, that kind of thing. I mean, there were 200 to 300 people at this party, and nobody is coming forward with anything. They said that her car was parked, within, I don't know, like 100 feet, several hundred feet, something like that. But, right in the vicinity of this party where all these people were at. And nobody can account for seeing her leave, but the people that did spend the night there just know that they didn't see her car there in the morning. It's hard for me to believe that you could have that many people at a party and they're all staying quiet. So I'm hoping that behind the scenes they have got good leads that they're working, good information. Like I said, teenagers and young adults, they're on social media all the time. They're always on their phones. Even if, say, there wasn't a signal out there and they couldn't post immediately, I know people were taking pictures. I know people were taking videos, and they would have uploaded them later. And somewhere in some of those photos and videos, Kiely has to be in the background. And that would really be important to the timeline and establishing a better timeline, because it's just vague right now. We know the surveillance pictures from 6. She got there about 10, 11. Her and Sammy were charging their phones or whatever. 12:15, I think, was when she texted her mom. 12:25, Sammy and her said goodbye. 12:33 is the last time her phone was used, but magically she called Sammy at 12:36. So it's not a super solid timeline, and a lot of it is based on Sammy's recollection. So we just got to kind of take it for what it is and hope that somebody out there is giving good information to the law enforcement agencies and we can get this girl found. There was a report made. So this person has a Ring doorbell, and I guess they have this Neighbors app, and they reported this, and it hasn't been confirmed. So don't take this for the gospel or anything, but they saw on their Ring a topless female being chased down by a CRV, and it's about an hour and a half away from where Kiely was. So I know it's being looked into. There was also a report of a black tank top being found. Sammy says it's not Kiely's, but until I hear the police confirm that it wasn't Kiely's, I will just leave that as maybe. This was put on Instagram, I believe. This was the search area. They are concentrating a lot on this campsite 4. And you can see in the picture up in the corner, it says to stay out of the blue area. They don't want anyone going in there, other than law enforcement, but just like the regular search volunteers, they want them to stay out of that area. So maybe they found some kind of potential lead, clue, something. But this case, it bothers me. I find myself thinking about it all the time. My daughter and I, she's 18, we've been talking about it a lot. It's just kind of cool for me to get like her perspective of, how would she react, and how would her and her friends be acting in this situation, and what does she think of the social media presence, and how centrally involved Sammy seems to be, to the point, like I said, she says they're close friends. I saw somewhere that her and Kiely, they didn't follow each other on social media, which I find a little odd, but I know my daughter has several alternate social media accounts that she doesn't give out all of them to everyone, so maybe it's something like that and they are following each other and we just don't see it. But no, she's even come out and said that she's supposed to go to college, and if they don't find Kiely, she will defer a semester to continue searching. And that's very noble. I could see, if this was your lifelong best friend or whatever, maybe, but I don't know. I don't want to bash anybody, especially an 18-year-old, when I have an 18-year-old daughter. But there's just something about her that I can't put my finger on it. I can't let it go. I got a feeling, y'all. And do you guys have that feeling, or am I way off base here? It's just odd. Like I said, it could be her personality. Maybe she really likes being the center of attention. And I know that YouTube channel she was on last night, she was eating up the praise when the guy would say like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a good job. You're such a hard worker," blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "Oh, yeah." But I don't know. Keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. This poor mom, every time I see her, it just breaks my heart. All of her friends that are looking for her, all those volunteers, law enforcement, keep them all in your thoughts and prayers, and just hope for something, anything to turn up soon. Like I said, this is day 5, because it was 12:30 on Saturday morning, but technically that would be Friday night, so we're coming up on a week. That's a long time for a 16-year-old to be out there on their own. So please like the video so we can get it boosted in the algorithm. That will help YouTube to show it to more people and get more eyes on the case, get her pictures out there, get her story out there. You know what? Let's just go back and put this flyer up again. Yeah. It's got the car and everything on it. But yeah, give it a like so it gets up in the algorithm and more people can see this and hear about her story and what's happening out there. Comment. I really want to know what you guys are thinking. Give it a share on your social media. Share it everywhere you can. Like I said, the goal here is to get her story and her picture and her name out there to as many people as possible. We need eyes on this now. So share, share, share. Like, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. We're a small community, but we're growing, and we're going to do great things together. As a true crime community, like I said yesterday, we have really long reach, and if we all come together and work on this case, we're going to get the word out there, and maybe somebody will see it, that maybe they were there, or they know somebody that was there. Anything, it needs attention. So please do your part and like and share and comment. Like I said, subscribe to the channel and click the bell, and you'll get notified when I upload a video. I will be watching the presser today, and if any new information comes out, I will hop back on and let you know. Otherwise, I will just plan on doing another update video on this tomorrow. Not just out of the presser, but if anything breaks, I will get on here and let you guys know. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll do another update and just kind of see where we're at with the case. Hopefully we'll be getting some kind of an answer soon. I guess that's about it, guys. I want to thank you for stopping by, as always, spending a little bit of your day with me, talking about Kiely, learning about her case, getting the word out there. And like I said, let's keep this family in our thoughts and prayers, because they sure need them right now. This is heartbreaking, and let's do what we can to bring this girl home. So thank you all for being here. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.